The buy box on Amazon, it's the key to becoming a successful Amazon seller. If you don't get the buy box, you basically get 0 sales. Yes, absolutely nothing. But it is a very mysterious thing and most sellers don't know how to use it correctly. So today we'll be talking all about the buy box, how to deal with pricing wars on Amazon and how you can actually win it. So let's get into it. So first up, we should probably talk about what the buy box actually is, because not everybody does know, especially if they are new to selling on Amazon. So the buy box is a prominent part of the Amazon listing where customers can click to buy the item or add it to their basket. And you can see it just here, it says add to basket, buy now. Now the reason this is so important is because only one seller can get the buy box at any one time. So you'll see at the moment, this seller here has the buy box. There's another 14 other sellers on this listing, but this seller is going to get all the sales because they have the buy box. And that is why people fight for it so fiercely, because if you can win this, you are going to get a lot of sales. So you're probably wondering by now, how do you actually win the buy box? How do you become this one seller who gets the add to basket or buy it now? And there's quite a few things which Amazon consider, and we'll break down each of them. We'll keep the most important one until the end of the list. But the first thing is you have to have the right sort of Amazon seller account. So you have to have a professional plan. If you've seen our videos about Amazon fees before, you'll know there's 2 types of account on Amazon. You've got a professional account or an individual account. A professional plan you have to pay a monthly subscription for, but you must have this in order to win the buy box. That's why we tell people to always pick the professional plan, because the buy box is so important. Now the next thing Amazon's going to look at is your seller performance metrics. So it's really important to have your account in good standing. If your account has lots of issues, it's going to be really hard for you to win the buy box. They're of course not going to recommend their customers to buy from a seller who isn't providing a good service. This only reflects badly on Amazon, so it's really important to make sure your account is in the best condition possible. Amazon are also going to look at your stock levels or your inventory levels as well. They want you to have consistent stock in their warehouse, or if you're sending out your own items, they don't want you selling out all the time. So if you do have lots of stock and you keep replenishing your stock before it sells out, that's going to put you in a better position to win the buy box. Now the next thing, and getting onto one of the more important things, is your fulfillment method. So on Amazon, there's 2 types of fulfillment method. You've got FBA, fulfilled by Amazon, or FBM, fulfilled by merchant. Fulfilled by merchant means you send out the items yourself. FBA means Amazon send out the items for you. And of course, Amazon is going to favor you massively if you're using their FBA service. And some may see this as a way of trying to force you to FBA, but generally it's because Amazon know the exact service the customer is going to get. If you're doing FBM, they have no control over the shipping speed, over the customer service, or anything like that. So if you are using FBA, Amazon take care of all of this for you, so they know that their customer is going to get a really good service. So of course, they are going to favor you to win the buy box. And that is another reason why using FBA is so important, even if it is a little bit more expensive. Now moving on to the most important thing, and that is your pricing. So typically Amazon is going to give the buy box to the cheapest seller. They want their buyers to be getting items for the best price possible. So if you are the cheaper seller, then realistically you should win the buy box. But of course this does lead to some issues with sellers keep dropping their price. So later on in this video we're going to talk about what sellers call pricing wars, which is where sellers keep dropping their price and it's just a race to the bottom and you lose your profit. Now there is a little secret which a lot of people don't know about the buy box, and that is called a rotating buy box. So not one seller has to have the buy box all the time. If you have a couple of sellers who are very similar, they have the same price, Amazon do something called rotating the buy box. And this is basically where one seller will have the buy box for a little bit, then it will move on to another seller, then it will move on to another seller. So all of these different sellers are getting sales and getting a fair time on the buy box. And this is something which is really important to utilize when trying to get the buy box. And we'll be running through this in more detail later on in this video, so make sure to stick around until then. So now you know what the buy box is, how it works, and how you can actually win it. But if you are new to Amazon, you may not know how fiercely sellers actually fight each other to win the buy box. Now, as we mentioned, because the price is the most important thing to be able to get on the buy box, it can lead to people just dropping their price. So you're selling it for $20, then another seller drops their price to $19, and then you drop your back to $18. And as you can imagine, the price just goes down to lower and lower and lower until you lose all your profit. And this is what they call pricing wars, or a race to the bottom. So how do you actually deal with this as a seller? Well, that's what we're going to be talking about next. But before we do this, we did just want to let you know about an exclusive Profitl discount code, which can save you some money on your Profitl subscription. So if you don't know what Profitl is, we are an Amazon software. We have a deal analyzer, DealFinder, wholesale scanner, the most amazing Discord community. And we have 2 YouTube exclusive discount codes, which will make pop up just here. That's going to save you either 5% on yearly plans. Yearly plans already have over 50% off, or 20% on monthly plans. Okay, so let's get into deal with pricing wars. So we want to set the scene. You're a brand new seller and you've listed your products on Amazon for the first time. You've been checking on your Seller Central. You've noticed that the Amazon listing has dropped in price, meaning that you no longer have a competitive price and you're not going to win the buy box. So what should you be doing in this situation? Should you drop your price as well, or should you keep your pricing at the same point? Well, the actual answer is a little bit of both. As I mentioned before, because Amazon share the buy box, as long as you have the same price as your competitors, you've got a really good chance of getting your share of it. But the key is setting boundaries. So you only want to drop your price to as low as the minimum profit you're happy to make. So most people will be 30% return on investment. If the price goes lower than this, don't match the buy box, just wait it out. 95% of the time, the price is going to come back up, because what's going to happen is the sellers are going to be selling the item really, really cheap. They'll all sell out, and then it will come back to the sellers who know actually how to deal with the buy box. And we know this can be quite difficult because of course you want to get sales, and of course you're going to face storage fees if your items are in the warehouse for longer. But as long as you've analyzed your deals correctly, so it's a nicely profitable deal, you've checked the price graphs to have a look to see how the price has performed, you shouldn't run into any issues, and it should almost always return to the price you're expecting, and you can get the profit you're after. Because what's the point of going to all the effort of buying products, sending them into Amazon's warehouse just to sell them for a loss? It makes absolutely no sense at all. So what you can do, and Amazon actually have a free repricer, or you can use a third-party repricer as well. So you want to set up your conditions to match the buy box, have your lowest price at your lowest profit point, and if it goes below this, you don't reprice anymore. You just wait it out, wait for the inexperienced sellers to sell their products out, and then it's going to come back to you and you're going to sell for your profit. So you're probably wondering why pricing wars happen, and hopefully it's quite clear. Everyone just wants sales, and there's a great saying which is revenue is for vanity, profit is for sanity. And it's so key when it comes for Amazon. A lot of people are so obsessed with that revenue figure, just getting as much sales as possible, but they're not really that interested in their profit, because revenue looks really cool. If you've done £100,000 or dollars in sales, that looks amazing, but your profit might be really, really low. And it's so important to focus on your profit as opposed to revenue when it comes to Amazon. Of course, revenue is important, but if you want a long-lasting business, you need to be making good profit. And then the other thing to consider is that a lot of these people doing it are brand new sellers. They just don't understand how to best utilize the buy box. But as you're watching this video, you're now going to know how you should be using the buy box, and hopefully you're never going to get into pricing wars. So if you are an Amazon seller, please don't drop your price. You're only cutting profit for absolutely everyone. Instead, think about all the points I said earlier, and you should be able to win plenty of time on the buy box and build a very profitable business. So that's all for today. We hope you found that video interesting. If you had any questions, please let me know in the comments and I'll try and get them answered for you. Please do hit that subscribe button. We post out Amazon videos every single Thursday. You'll find all of our important links in the description. But that's all for now. We'll see you in the next one.